Alright artists, so we're going to try another 1-point perspective drawing. You're going to need another piece of paper, ruler, pencil, and eraser. So in our last video, we drew a house with 1-point perspective. This time we're going to try a city. So I'm going to start by drawing my horizon line, and this time I'm going to do it like in the bottom third. You usually want to avoid having your horizon line right in the center of a picture. So the top third, bottom third are pretty good. It kind of depends on if you want more sky or more land in your picture. With this one, because we want to focus on high, tall buildings, we're going to want more sky. So I'm going to draw my horizon line about a third of the way up from the bottom of the paper. And this time, my vanishing point is going to go right in the center. Ta-da! Okay, so I'm going to start by drawing the sides of the buildings. And to do that, I'm just going to draw some rectangles, and they're going to go over top of the horizon line. So here, I'm going to draw a rectangle. It's going to overlap the horizon line. I think I'm going to make the one on this side a little bit shorter, just for some variation. You get to use however you want. So this picture is going to turn out like we're looking down a city street. All right, so here's my vanishing point in the middle. What I'm going to do is draw lines from all these inside corners to my vanishing point. And it's usually good to draw light because you're going to have to do some erasing. Draw light until you get it right. That'll be our motto. So I have all my inside corners going to that vanishing point. Okay, so now I've got to cut off my buildings to make the back edge of it. So I'm going to make another line this way. Remember, it needs to be parallel to these lines. So I'm going to have my buildings go back to here, and this line, it can't be tilted this way, it can't be tilted this way, it's got to be straight up and down, just like those two lines. It's got to be parallel. So that's any line that's the edge of a building. Oh, that wasn't a very good line. Any line that's the edge of a building that would normally touch the ground and go upward is going to stay parallel. All right. On this side, I'm going to make this one go a little bit further back. This line's parallel to those. All right. Now I'm going to erase my extra lines here in the center. I don't need those anymore. And there's the start to my cityscape. I'm also going to erase this horizon line that goes through the buildings. All right, so I'm going to draw some windows on the side of this building. But one thing I have to remember is the tops and the bottoms of the windows, just like the top and bottom of the building, are gonna be parallel. Oh my gosh, that's not true at all. The top and the bottom of the windows are gonna go to the vanishing point. They're not gonna be parallel. They are gonna go to the vanishing point. So I'm gonna have like a set of windows. So I'm gonna make just a whole line for my windows. That's the top of them. And this here will be the bottom of the set of windows. I'm gonna do let's see. So to cut all my windows off and to make, the lines between them, those lines are going to need to be parallel to these ones. So here's one window, parallel, 2, 3, 4, etc. So all those lines are parallel to each other. I can add one more. The lines also get closer together as they get further away from us. Now I don't need those vanishing point lines anymore. I'm going to try another set of windows. Top, bottom, and then parallel lines. Erase the extra. So there are my windows. On this side of this building, I'm going to draw a door. So to make the sides of my door, they are going to be coming from the ground. So just like how these lines all come from the ground, it has to be parallel. So here's my parallel edges of my door. However, the top of the door is going to go to the vanishing point. And a line between the doors, that's going to stay parallel. Okay, I'm going to add some sidewalks around my building. These, you guessed it, have to go to the vanishing point. But when they're in front of the building, we're seeing this from straight on. So that is just a horizontal line parallel to that one. Over here, this one's got to go to the vanishing point. But this one, horizontal, parallel. Usually when you're doing these type of drawings, you can just check your work by looking at it and seeing, like, does that look kind of wonky? And if it does, you probably need to fix something. And most of the time when you need to fix something, it's that you've made a line go to the vanishing point that doesn't need to, or you've made something on a diagonal that doesn't need to. Most of the time, it needs to be parallel instead. All right, now, but to make the lines in my sidewalk, those are going to be parallel to these ones. So to add some lines in between, I'm going to go on this line. And there's my sidewalk lines. What else can we add to our building? You know, I think back over here, I'm going to add another building that's like behind it. So I'm going to start by drawing sides of the building. I've got like a rectangle going on here. Now, what point needs to go to the vanishing point? This one. So this one's going to be at a deeper angle because it's taller. I'm going to have the building go that far back. And then this line, vertical parallel. So now I've got another building that's back behind there. All right, I am going to add a dome on the top of this building. Well, not exactly a dome, but like a curved top. So I'm gonna draw like a half circle up here. And this one doesn't have a point, so we can kind of just guess where it would be on this curve and line up our vanishing point to exactly where it meets, excuse me, where it meets on this curve, and that is gonna go to the vanishing point. Over here, I'm going to draw another building as well. This one's going to be next to it. but it goes a little bit behind it. Make that line darker here. And this line needs to come to the vanishing point, which is a very steep angle now because it's so close. I'm probably not going to see a whole much of the side of this building, so cut that off there. All right. What else could we add on to here? If something's on the front sides of these buildings, they don't have to go to the vanishing point. So say I want to put some windows over here. Those are just going to be, well, I should probably make sure my lines are straight, but they just are going to be parallel to these horizontal lines. What if I wanted to add some street lines in here, like some lines on the street? I would actually need to use the vanishing point for that as well. So I'm going to use my line, my point really, draw some lines. That's for my street lines. If I want to break them up, I can draw some horizontal lines in between. There we go. And that is another round of 1-point perspective. Nice job.